have accessed some exclusive papers. Now, the visuals, the papers which you see on your screen are Shinde's petition copy. This is Eknath Shinde's petition copy. It has been exclusively accessed by NewsX. Now, this petition copy, what does it say? The operative part underlined here in green, and I'm going to read them out verbatim for our viewers. It is common knowledge that the current government in the state of Maharashtra, led by the Maha Vikas Aghadi Alliance, has lost the majority in the House as 38 members of the Shiv Sena legislature party have withdrawn their support, thus bringing it below the majority of the House. However, the MVA government continues to misuse the office of the Deputy Speaker to ensure that they remain in power by whatever means necessary. I'm reading out some more operative parts from this document. Of course, what's very, very important is that Mr. Shinde is emphasizing that he has the support of the magic number, the 2/3 MLAs. He says he has the support of 38 MLAs. And the other point which we must highlight is that Shinde camp is blaming the Maha Vikas Aghadi of misusing the office of the Deputy Speaker. It is submitted that not only the security of the families and relatives have been compromised by removing security, there is an ongoing agenda by the leaders of the MVA government. I am reading these excerpts from Eknath Shinde's plea, his petition which he's filed in the Supreme Court. He says there are attempts to take up violence to further intimidate the MLAs, which is evident from media reports. And then he goes on to mention all the media reports. Of course, one of them being where Mr. Shinde himself is very, very clearly seen, or Mr. Sanjay Raut is very, very clearly seen telling the MLAs that the road to the assembly goes via the airport, and when you come back, we'll see which BJP MLA saves you and supports you. Multifaceted story. One, of course, far as the legal battle is concerned, the other when it comes to saving the party. That is the big question right now. Urvashi, my colleague, is live with us. First of all, let's go over to Urvashi before we open this up for discussion. Urvashi, take us through the contents of this petition copy. Urvashi, over to you. Take us through the content of this petition. Urvashi, can you hear us? Okay, we will patch Urvashi back on the line very, very shortly with us. Of course, this is exclusive information which we have been able to access on NewsX. Advocate Aashutoshsrivastava is live with us. Gautam Mukherjee is also with us. We'll, of course, have to go to the advocate first, since it's a legal document, a legal paper which we are putting out on our screens. Ravinder, stay with us. We'll come back to you on the political update and a perspective on that as well. But Advocate Srivastava, going by the petition of Eknath Shinde seems to claim that he has the number, the requisite number 38, this magic number which is required. But is having mere numbers enough? Because Uddhav Thackeray side and its legal side seems to be arguing that having the sheer numbers is not enough. You have to either first prove them on the House, which has not happened, or you have to join the BJP or form your own party. Uddhav Thackeray says that before any of that could have happened, we approached the governor, we approached the Deputy Speaker asking for their dismissal, hence give us the first mover advantage. Does it work legally?
The petition what Shinde's group has filed, first of all, they are challenging the notice which has been issued by the Deputy Speaker on the point that since they have the majority, that is 2/3 of the elected members have left the party, and hence the anti-defection law will not apply. And in that case, this notice is completely unlawful and it is not tenable. This is the one point. Yes. And secondly, it says that, that since they had written to the Deputy Speaker that this particular government is not having majority in the Legislative Assembly, as 2/3 of 55, as 55 are the elected MLAs of Shiv Sena in the Legislative Assembly. So 2/3 of that comes to 37. Now they have one MLA more than 37, that is 38. So it is much more than the 2/3 as required. So hence the considering clause 4 of the 10th schedule of the Constitution, after amendment in 2003 also, two-third
Yes.
is this is what they are claiming in the Supreme Court,
Yeah.
that
So I've taken your point. I've taken your point, and that those are, of course, the highlights from Mr. Shinde's petition. My colleague Urvashi has also joined us live on the broadcast. Urvashi, over to you. First of all, take us through some key takeaways from Eknath Shinde's petition.
As 38 of the members of Shiv Sena, a legislature party, have withdrawn their support, this bringing in it below the majority in the House. And however, MVA government continues to misuse the whole office of the Deputy Speaker to ensure that they remain in power by whatever means that is necessary, is what is written in this very particular whole paragraph, and that is important. So it is first time that the officially Shinde's camp has went on record in this very particular petition that has been filed in front of Supreme Court, telling that how the 38 MLAs have withdrawn their support from MVA. While there is no formal communication that has yet come up in this very particular regard to the fore, we understand that how this particular whole point is going to play a role in its own way. I also want to further go ahead and talk about how and in which way the proceedings over here written. It also says that be it Ajay Chaudhary, who's the speaker, who's the party leader right now, who has been assigned by Uddhav Thackeray camp. Now, if you have to see and talk about the proceedings, so this very particular petition also speaks about the prayers, that how there are several decisions that have been taken which are not in favor of, or rather, they right now don't have the authority, because right now MVA government is in minority, is what is the claim from the Shinde's camp, is what we understand.
All right, Shinde camp claiming that, of course, the Uddhav government is in minority. Rovinder Sachdev, if you could come in here. There is no doubt that the numbers are with Mr. Shinde. He does have the support of 38 MLAs. He's been able to produce their signatures as well. What next would you say for Uddhav Thackeray? Would you say that the writing is clearly on the wall for the Mahavikas Aghadi government?
Well, it's no doubt in the wall right now, written on the wall, that things are going to be difficult, or things are already troublesome, and anytime anything can happen, because the way right now the call, whatever we see factually, with the numbers going there, with the maximum ministers reaching Guwahati and not being in the state of Maharashtra, certainly that comes up is what is right now seen. But then, yes, we all are, in fact, everyone is eagerly waiting for Supreme Court's hearing to happen, how and which way things will unfold, because there are several things from the side of Uddhav Thackeray's camp as well, wherein they go ahead and talk about the Schedule 10, where they say that it's not Eknath Shinde's camp can't just go ahead and flourish like this. They will have to merge either with Prahar, the other party that is there, or with BJP. How is it that they are going to plan, as what is Uddhav Thackeray's faction trying to convey? But then Shinde's camp is very much firm. They are in fact right now together. We also see that they are right now together and going to watch together the proceedings of Supreme Court that are going to happen, because they are firm, and they have said that they have taken this very particular move with all the calculations in proper concrete way. They also say that this is what was the need and this is what is the move right now. Meanwhile, I am at Vidhan Bhavan right now, and we see there is one particular minister's vehicle that is coming. We are just going to try and see who is the minister over here. But then since morning there are several developments and the movements that are happening, and we see that okay, so this is Ashok Chavan over here. Okay. So that is Ashok Chavan who has reached the Vidhan Bhavan, and since morning over here there are several people who are reaching, including the one group leader Ajay Chaudhary, because they are planning the strategy over here. Meanwhile, the Deputy Speaker, who is the person who is going to work further officially from Uddhav Thackeray's faction, to which the counter claim from the side of Shinde's camp is that how this is a kind of illegal take that is being played by Deputy Speaker. The whole role is illegal because the maximum numbers members are with Shinde's camp, is what we get to know. And in Guwahati, we already get to understand from our colleagues over there that how there's a medical checkup that has been happening of the regular medical checkup that is happening of the MLAs over there in Guwahati hotel, wherein doctors are going inside and checking up, is what we get to know the current on-ground situation.
Right, that's of course the current situation on ground. Far as Mr. Shinde is concerned, we've been able to access his petition copy as well with us. Of course, we have a lawyer on the panel. Before I go to Rabinder Sachdev, one more question for the lawyer, sir. The focus end of the day comes on para 4, the clause 4 of schedule 10. Simplify it for our viewers, help us understand what this clause is and why it is so pertinent really for all of us to understand the anti-defection law vis-a-vis clause 4 of section 10, considering the current situation in Maharashtra, sir.
Defection law simply says, which is there in the 10th schedule of the constitution, which was inserted in the year 1985. So earlier it was that if one third of the elected MLAs they leave, then the anti-defection law will not apply. Secondly, if the elected MLAs are voting against their party in the legislative assembly, then it will be called as defection, and anti-defection law will apply, and they can be disqualified as per the law. However, in 2003, after the amendment, this 1/3 was changed to 2/3. So later now it is like if less than 2/3 of the MLAs are voting against the political party, or if they are leaving any political party which is in the government, then the anti-defection law will apply. But if it is more than 2/3 of the majority, then it will not apply. So now the numbers are very, very important and
but when
crucial.
Do you need to know,
now,
sir,
in
but
this
when,
case,
sir, I have a question. When do you need to either form your own party or merge with another party? Does it need to be done before the floor test, or can it be done after the floor test? Is a caveat period given to the rival faction, and any past precedent which you would like to share with us?
See, there is no specific timing as mentioned, but as we know that, the governor is having the power under Article 163 of the Constitution to call for the floor test. Now, if, if the governor is of the view that the present government has lost its confidence on the floor and it is not in majority to hold the office of the chief minister and other ministers of the party who are ruling, so in that case, the governor can bring such kind of floor test, and if it is proved that the party is not having the majority, obviously in that case the rebel MLAs will not vote in favor of the party. So in that case, if the government falls, then the governor will have another opportunity to call for the other parties who can claim that they have the numbers, they have the majority to form the new government. So it is something that has to be seen at the later part of the picture, not now. Because at present, what is the situation?
And also the question about anti-defection law. I take your point because it hasn't reached the governor. Point taken. And also there's another question and caveat about the anti-defection law, when it actually applies. Does it apply when it comes to anti-party activity inside or outside the house? Because the case of Sharad Yadav is quite different, and I'll discuss that as well. But Rabinder Sachdev, sir, do come in the conversation here. Of course, one is the legal aspect, which the learned advocate is shedding the light on all the clauses and the sections of the constitution. But sir, there is another thing at play. It isn't just about saving the MVA government. That seems to be a lost cause, sir. End of the day, the bigger worry for Uddhav Thackeray would be to save his party, and that's perhaps why we are seeing this type of an outreach where Mr. Thackeray himself says that he's opening up a online forum or a portal for people to come and give their views on what's happening in the Sena, who they think should be the real leader of the Shiva Sena. Very, very clear that right now, the battle as of now, it's playing out legally. Very soon, it could play out in the corridors of the Election Commission, and Uddhav Thackeray is already preparing for the same. Rabinder Sachdev, can you hear us? Okay. Okay, we seem to be having some problem.
For more such videos, subscribe to the NewsX YouTube channel, hit the bell icon.